Well, good evening. I have us set up for San Jose to San Francisco on the cab, the gallery cab ride. That's not right. Here we go. All right, there we are. Northbound limited stop service from San Jose to San Francisco. I do custom weather because I don't want any weather changing within the next half hour to an hour. And May 9th, clear. So this is the evening service to San Francisco, and we'll get started here. I say good evening because it's evening in San Jose for this trip of 7 cars, 579 feet, 567 tons. I always find this a little unusual. We have to unlock and load passengers, and we're not at a passenger station. We are, wait a minute here. We are at a passenger station. Silly me. Quite nice one, too. Well, we better get in the cab and get ourselves set up. Valve in. We need the parking brake. Always put that parking brake in so we can release the air brakes and get our air pumped up to where it should be. We gotta wait to 18:45, 6:45:30. So it gives us time to put in our handle and flip on the switches. I don't want the cab light on. I'm not sure what the crossing light is. I like the marker lights, and I always want the gauge lights on. Headlights, medium. Okay, another 10 seconds or so here and we'll get going. One thing about this engine, and we really need to set up our views. This is kind of a freight engine, and it is not the most powerful. It takes forever to get going. Well, I say that. These engines are for moving heavy freight. Now, I may not know much what I'm talking about, but they have more torque than they have speed, I should say. And we need to go about 20 miles per hour here, so we're right about that now. Beautiful clear evening. We got about 5.7 miles before we get to Lawrence, our first stop. Let's go ahead. I think we can start to gather up some speed right out of that station now. It's kind of funny. I was thinking about doing a non-commentary ride this time, but I personally, when I watch other people videos for Train Sim World, I do like commentary, but I intentionally wanted to do a little less. And just have a little commentary this time. But it's funny because when you have the mic on, it's hard not to talk. I'm going to pick up some speed. So you can probably see what I'm saying. I can throw in 7 or 8 on the throttle, and it just gradually works its way up. And maybe that part of that may be by design, because we don't want to jolt our passengers around. So now this San Francisco route, the Peninsula, it's one of these routes that I think has been neglected by I know has been neglected by myself and possibly a lot of others, because I don't see a lot on it. We're up to 66. I'm not sure that we can go much faster. I have taken the HUD off, but we can take a look. The HUD says we're okay on the speed limit. Yeah, when looks like there's an airport off that way. Yeah, when you get used to a route, you get to know its speed limits, and that's always a wonderful thing, because you know what you're doing. And it's been a long time since I've gave this any attention to this Peninsula corridor. So we're bringing passengers home, I think. Back up to San Francisco after a day's work. About the time of day it is, 6:50 in the evening. I don't remember if this is the last train out. I don't think it's the last train out, but it's definitely getting later. It may even be getting close to dark when we get up to San Francisco. You can see the sun's ready to set. I like to run without the HUD on, but when I'm not familiar, I keep a partial HUD. I keep the banner up top, tell me when my next stop is, 2.4 miles, and what time I'm supposed to be there. I'm having difficulty with this route keeping time, keeping to the timetable, I should say. And, this gives me a little cheat, because I can see there's a caution, a yellow coming up, which means I need to get slowing down. And the way I know to do that in this train is to put on the dynamics. And dynamics won't work until you put the throttle into the null position. Yeah, here it is. Now we see the warning. So I imagine that's about 45 miles an hour. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's still got it up to 70, but we're on an approach, so usually when you're on an approach like that, you see those lights that tells us what's coming, so we know we got to drop down in the next block our speed. I've learned that with dynamics, you have to put it in setup for 10-15 seconds before it starts to get those traction motors going, and and then you have to ease. You can't just fly the dynamic handle. Oh, we're changing tracks. You see that? You know, when you see that red over yellow, I think that was red over yellow. Whenever you see a red over a yellow or green, you know you're changing tracks. And I did that pretty quickly. Well, we changed tracks now. I'm going to take the dynamics off. Put my automatic brake on holding. And then lap. I'm not sure what lap does, because it doesn't seem to do much of anything. It kind of holds your speed at, 54. And just for kicks, let's take a look at the HUD, see what it says. It still has it up there at 70, so. But we need to put it into service. I got to talking and not paying attention, and I hit the service kind of late. It was about 600 feet out before I hit service, and normally if you're going around 50, about 1,000 feet from your target should work good. Actually, this is not too bad. Yeah, I've overshot it a little bit. I overshot it quite a bit, but it works. One of the things you got to do here is make sure you release, put on the parking brake, and get your air pressure up. I'm actually early. That's amazing. Looking around our environment. And you can see how slow the get up and go is on this engine. If you haven't done this route before, coming out of San Francisco, you'll be engine forward, and then coming out of San Jose, going back to San Francisco, in that direction, you'll be gallery cab forward. Well, we got about 4 miles to go. I'm looking down here to see what this door lock is. You know, the more you play this stuff, the more you learn about what's what. Now we still got a yellow, so a yellow over a blinking green, that aspect is usually we're approaching, coming up on something, but the blinking green is, we can do that, I believe, at a little higher speed. In fact, it says 50 miles an hour on my little cheat sheet up to the top right. So I'm only doing 49. So I think if I'm just doing 40, I can still go up to 50. Red over green, so we're going to be switching tracks here. Here we go. Train signals have been a mystery to me for a long time, and especially confusing because every route may have a different signaling system. But for the most part, I found that when looking at the styles of signals, and they refer to that as an aspect, but you know, each route having a different style. But each is a telltale, each aspect is a telltale to what's going to happen. And there seems to be different rules as far as speeds and stuff on different routes, but for the most part, it's just like traffic lights. The traffic light doesn't tell you the speed, it just tells you to stop and when to slow down and when to go. So I kind of look at my signals that way. If you have a green over reds, like we do here, that tells us we're clear and there's nothing ahead of us. We're not approaching anything. And when you have a yellow, there's something ahead, either a turnout or a train in the block ahead. So depending on what route you are, you have to slow it down to 50 or 45 or whatever the particular route calls for the approach. So I'm not using dynamics at all at the moment, and I'm doing about 57 miles an hour, and I'm coming up on my my station. Coming up on the station, I'll put it throttle on neutral. Got plenty of air in the brake system. Just under 60. I don't know. I don't know much about what I'm doing on the brakes, but maybe you're supposed to ride it in the holding position. The lap doesn't seem to do much, but when I come on an approach to a station, I like to put it in lap, and once I get to about 1,000 feet from my target point, or at the end of the platform, or before the end of the platform, I'll go ahead and put it in service. So at 1,600 feet out, 1,500 feet out, 1,300 feet out, and here we go, I put it in service. This works fairly well when you're about 50 miles an hour. Stopping you where it should be. You don't get too excited and put it in handle off. Let's take a look. I went beyond. Yeah, I went a little far out, is what I did. So, at 50 plus, you probably gonna want to hit service a little sooner than 1,000 feet. Yeah, there's no giddy up and go with this baby. And one of the other things is when I do all this stuff approaching a platform, a station, I turn on the bell, and I haven't yet done it since I started this video. I've been neglectful. It always amazes me that you can be going 50 miles an hour and sometimes it just feels like you're crawling. Put the automatic brake into lap. I had to edit a little bit of the video out because I saved it and got out, went away for a while, and when it came back in, there was a constant beep. And I don't know what that beep was. It sounded just like a garbage truck trying to back up. And I hit everything I could, the alerter, everything. I don't know what it was about, but somehow I got rid of it. I don't know if it's just part of the quirkiness of when you do a save and you get back in, it's a little confused or what, but it was a mystery to me. Nevertheless, I don't intend to do an hour-and-a-half video. It takes quite a while to go from San Jose to San Francisco. So I'll be cutting through, slicing through a little bit of the ride for your viewing pleasure, I guess we could say. Yeah. Get the bell going before we... Whoop, I hit handle off. I didn't mean to do that. Either way, it's going to stop the train, but... That's a pretty good stop. Kind of coasting now. Don't want to stop. I don't know why. There we go. Got a couple trains going here. Let's see how we're looking. I always think it's fun watching people spawn out of nowhere. Yeah, kind of overshot it. We didn't really overshoot. I put it in You know, I released the brake and it just kept coasting. Look at this guy. Did you see him? I don't know if you saw him. He's trying to get in, but anyway. Let's get going here. Protect your data. Well, I think so. I used to have a wireless mouse on my desktop, and I got a new computer, and I thought, hey, I'm not going anywhere with this. I'll just keep the wired mouse. And yeah, the unfortunate thing about a wired mouse is if you're video recording or even in everyday game playing, if you take your hand off the mouse, sometimes the tether kind of pulls back and changes your view. I got throttle 6 and I'm just creeping along here. Palo Alto. Next stop, 5,000 feet. Really get back up to 50. Yeah, if it wasn't for my little cheat on the HUD here, I'm not sure. We go by so many stations, I'm not sure which ones, if I can remember which one was Palo Alto and which ones weren't. Pull the throttle all the way back. Put the automatic brake in lap and get ready to hit it at, let's go ahead and hit it now at about 1,100 feet, 2,000 feet. See if it stops us in time. It looks like it is. Stops us short, to be honest with you. Yep, you can always tell when the screen. I'm holding a camera here, and they bump right into me. See what this guy's up to. Boy, it is a lag for you. Sometimes I think I shot it right up to throttle 8. I don't think that's good. And I don't know if I had wheel slip or not, but I think it's better if you gently notch your way up. But let's see how quickly I can get up to speed. I've always wondered if the initial file would let you make some changes. One of the changes I like to do is when I go into the free cam, it puts you up, kind of in a real fan position, but up above the train. I like to go in a real fan position that was down along the track like that. But I better pay attention here. Yeah, I hit service about 1,500 feet out. I may end up stopping too short. Yeah, end up stopping short. Yeah, these guys are gonna have to walk a little. And I forgot to put the bell on. You know, you always play these games much better when you're not live or when you're not recording, because it's just another thing to think about. I get to talking and I think what's on my mind and how to express it, and I forget about the necessities. Another train coming. Here we go. I got it on throttle 3. I don't think putting it on 8 makes it go any quicker. At worst, I think it might make the wheel slip, especially on a rainy day. Whoop. Yeah, that little tether did it to me again. Ah, the American flag. Yeah, see how when you hit the 8 key for kind of a free cam, yeah, I think what I'm going to need to do is get myself, pull out my remote, yeah, my wireless mouse, so I don't have this, the tether pulling back all the time on my view screen. Just for kicks, let's put the automatic brake in holding. Now, I will say this, it takes forever to get this thing up to speed, and it must be very comfortable for the passengers. And it's thinking it's designed that way. I like to get a hold of the bullet that you can buy as an add-on. It's a shame it has to be an add-on, but it's a $20 add-on. But from what I understand, it's well worth it. And so I think one day when they have a good sale, I'll go ahead and pick it up. So we're going about 64 now. I got my throttle set on 0. Put the brake on lap. And I think about 1,500 feet, I'll go ahead and hit the service. I'm in with the bell going. Here we go. Hit service and let's see how it goes. Nice. Redwood City. A little bit of an overshoot there. One of the things I like about this route, it reminds me of the old train simulator route, Miami to West Palm Beach. It was, I love that route. It's closer to home where I live in Florida. I'm familiar with that territory, and it was a good long stretch. I don't know if it was 70 some miles or something. Well, at least, or more. And this one's only about, it's under 50, about 47 or something. But even still, it's the same similar type of, you know, you're coming out of the city of San Francisco, in this case San Jose, heading up to San Francisco, and you really don't ever get into a, you know, you're in a suburban area, but you never get out of the industry and into any urban at all. I mean, any rural at all. And it's got freight, as you can see. And so did that West Palm Miami route, had freight, and lots of industries you can use to take freight out to. I haven't explored that aspect of it. You know, I did a couple services where you can move the aggregate, you know, in the hoppers to different spots, but I hadn't explored maybe getting in the scenario editor and doing some local deliveries. But something that this may have a possibility. It depends. It depends on whether or not they allow you to switch manual sidings and without going through any red singles. So I have to explore and find out if that's a possibility. But environment-wise, I mean, it's the same kind of city environment, and with a little bit of residential, not much of anything that's out in the boonies, but it's all developed. So quite nice for this style. Coming up on the Hillsdale station. Let them know we're in their way here. Put on full service about 1200. I think we're still going to go past the station a little bit. Watch it, fella. You're a little close to the tracks. Yeah, overshot by 300 some feet. Yeah, quite a bit. People just have to get off the back of the train, that's all. The scenery I like because it's quite similar to the Miami West Palm route that we had in Train Simulator, but it's also unfortunately similar in you know, I hate to say it, similar in graphics. It's not the best graphics. It's not up to par with what we see the Train Sim world can offer. Whoop, I don't need that much. Maybe we'll get going here. Yeah, here we go. Off to San Mateo, and that's 2.5 miles away. With the scenery being the way it is, it's yeah, I guess it is a little slightly better than Train Simulator, but you know, the trees and the lighting and stuff is better, but there isn't a lot of detail in the streets. It's kind of bare, and barren and as far as around the buildings and stuff, and it looks almost a little cartoonish. But driving it in the evening and the sunset here kind of helps focus in on the things that are well detailed, a little closer to the rails. Back off the throttle here. Put the brake in the lap position. Haven't really been using my horn as we go through intersections, but I do like to kick off the horn before I get somewhere, and have the bell as I'm approaching, letting people know to watch their step. A little over 1,000 feet, I go ahead and put it into service, and if you're around 50 miles an hour, it usually comes pretty good. I like the little two-step they do. Looking around the area here. And here we go. Burlingame. I don't know how to pronounce that. Burlingame. You can see how, you know, you lay the structures down on this map and it's just bare looking. You know, could use some bicycles, some weeds, some, you know, just a little something in there. But it doesn't distract from the fun of the ride here. And full throttle. I always find it interesting that they've gotten better. Some streets are totally bare, no traffic as that one I just went by. Other streets got a little bit of traffic going on it, but some of these older routes don't have much. Plenty of foot traffic at the stations, though. Plenty of pedestrians. Not too bad. Less than a mile from Millbrae. Maybe I got too many symbols in there. Millbrae. It's a nice station. Nice station indeed. We're getting up on 80 miles an hour. Starting to throttle back a little bit. Set up our dynamic just in case. Still got the green, so we're clear ahead. Not approaching anything. Coming up on some bends here. Give it a little dynamic brake. Well, we're overdue as of now. Still got 5 miles to go. Oh, it got dark all of a sudden. Well, we got a clear green. Thought I saw a yellow, but that was just a reflection. Subtle. Now we got an approach signal. So we need to start slowing down here. This is a funny station. It's a short station. Like it's underneath the streets. Doesn't look like it's all that safe of a place to be catching a train. Yeah, it's poor lighting, dark, not a lot of people. Let's get out of here.
Caution, the doors are about to close.
Oh, next stop, San Francisco. Not that far down the track here. Gotta watch our speed limit now. We still got the approach signal, so either we have a train ahead, a turnout, or we're coming to a stop. So I think that's what happens at the San Francisco station. The track comes to an end. It's not a turnout because it's yellow over red. If it was red over yellow, we'd be switching rail. But it's just an approach aspect. I think we might be into a 25-mile-an-hour zone here, so give it a little dynamic brake. Let's take a look at the city around. Yeah, we're coming to a stop. want to stop too early. Coming into station. The San Francisco. Okay. All right, now we gotta stop before we hit the end of the rail. Nice. And that concludes our nice trip from San Jose to San Francisco. Pretty much an evening ride. It just got dark as we came in. Time to go home, folks. And that would do it. So hopefully you enjoyed the ride, and we'll catch you next time.